Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing today?
Great.
I'm good, thank you. We are Group 4 and we're presenting our research results on time management and its effects on financial well-being. My name is Joey Sinicola.
Colin Bryan.
Michael Taylor.
Alyssa Berba.
Alright, let's get started. So today, we're going to be talking about a couple different things. First, we're going to start with a literature review, followed by our hypothesis development, variables, survey distribution, our descriptive analytics, regression analytics, and implications, as well as conclusion. So why does financial well-being matter to us? Well, 74% of undergraduate college students leave their bachelor's degree with debt. And debt directly correlates to our financial well-being. So what is financial well-being? Financial well-being is a subjective term that essentially means that you can meet your ongoing financial obligations, as well as feel secure in your financial ability in the future. Early personal finance. This has been brought to our attention because only 23% of high school students have access to take a personal finance course, and this is just having access to doing this. That doesn't mean they're actually taking it. So we want to spread awareness that people should be able to have more access to financial courses in the future. The Consumer Financial Bureau produced a financial well-being scale that offers an online test to measure your current status in your financial well-being. We use this in the future to connect our variables.
The next thing we'd like to define is time management for students. Time management is a set of behavioral skills that help students organize their study and course loads. And time management is something that affects college students more than any other group of students. And this is because college students are just leaving, are kind of getting into the world, so they're responsible for their own time. So this means that students are responsible for going to their classes and making sure that they're passing their classes, as well as what they're doing in between there. If they have bills to pay, they need to find a job and go to work, as well as manage the other responsibilities that they have. For our hypothesis development, colleges are home to students who have different backgrounds, lifestyles, and upbringings. So this kind of led us to believe that students' financial well-being would also vary depending on what kind of extracurriculars that they're in. Are they in sports? Are they in a club? As well as their credit enrollment. How many credits are they taking? Because a student that is taking 8 credits is going to have a lot less of a workload than a student that's taking 20 credits, for example. And the level of students' time management skills will also impact this, because if a student's not good at managing time, he's definitely going to struggle with anything else that he has to deal with. And then,
Yeah, so with our hypotheses, we set up 2 different hypotheses. So our first one is that students who have better time management skills will experience more signs of positive financial well-being. And the second one being that if students enroll in more credits, then they will have signs of poor financial well-being. So time management skills help you remember to balance those academic and personal priorities in your life. That could be things like paying your bills on time, just being more financially responsible. Maybe that's even like packing a lunch in the morning, just like so you're not eating out as much and just saving some money there. So that's kind of what led us into picking these hypotheses for our research. Our variables, of course we have independent and dependent variables. Our independent variable, of course, being the variable that is changed, and the dependent variable being the one that is measured or observed. So our independent variables, we had 2 of them. Our first one being the number of credits being taken for that current semester, and our second one being the score that they obtained on the California Baptist University time management scale. The dependent variable, so that was the one that we were observing, that is the score that participants achieved after completing said financial well-being scale.
Awesome. And so what did the survey look like? In total, it was 31 questions. It was mainly Likert scale questions, the always to never, sometimes to always. We built it to take less than 7 minutes. After talking to some people that took it, it came out to be like 3 to 3.5 minutes, which was quite a bit shorter than we had thought. So we could have even added a couple more questions, so 31 kind of seemed wordy to us. There was a few multiple choice questions. That's typically just the demographic questions, as well as the credit enrollment questions. Luckily, it was built to be mobile friendly, and we wanted that so that because we knew that most of our participants were going to be taking out their phones. While we did do some email distribution, it was mainly through word of mouth, sending it and all that. And like all the other groups, participants had consent and they could leave at any time. So how was it distributed? Our goal was 350 participants or more. Qualtrics believes that in order to have a proper sample size, you should have 5% of your population. So 350 is that magic number. We're going to go over shortly about what number we did end up with. It was administered to Northern Michigan University. We wanted to keep students around here as this was our kind of target group as it establishes a standard D2 school in the Midwest. And it was promoted through emails, clubs, classes, as well as QR codes, just pulling up to strangers and saying, hey, can you take our survey with a QR code. So kind of for a descriptive analysis, we had 228 total responses. After cleaning it, we came out to about 185. We didn't have very many that were completely incomplete. It was more of we did remove a couple for a open-ended question in the gender section that did not work out. And then on average for the CFBP scale or PV scale, NMU students scored on average a 58.6 out of 100. This ended up being higher than the actual US average of 54, which was pretty interesting and great. And then on average, NMU students scored 45.91 out of 80 for the time management scale, which is in their classification said that was poor time management skills. Following up our descriptive analysis, our gender demographic was a little heavy on the male. It was 58% male, 40% female, or 2% for not to say. We did think that this was kind of explainable by our group demographic, but the Northern Michigan University demographic is more female heavy, so we kind of thought that might have impacted it, but it didn't. And then as for age demographic, 96% were 18 to 24, which we expected as your standard college student, but we did have a couple outliers within the outside ranges.
So moving on to our data analysis, we decided to go with the regression model because we are investigating two different independent variables and their effects on the dependent, and we're keeping those separate, so that's why we went with the regression. Our credit hours, we viewed to believe that it was a higher credit hours led to a lower financial well-being score, and vice versa for the time management, being higher time management skills would result in a positive financial well-being score. Moving on to our actual results, this is our regression analysis. Our significance level for our first hypothesis being the credit hours was a 0.7, so that was way over the 0.05 threshold, leading to us to believe that the credit hours does not have a negative impact on the financial well-being. However, we are going to get into that more in our future research section, leading to why the reasoning behind that. Next, we have our time management scale. Our significance level was 0.001, therefore it was significant that we can say that there is a correlation between time management skills, being if you have greater time management skills, you will be better off financially. Now this is a graph of our correlation between time management and financial well-being because we did have that significance value. Over here on our graph, you can see that a lot of the data is mostly towards the middle, causing that correlation. However, we do have some data skewed above and below in both sections, leading to our correlation resulting in a small or weak correlation according to Cohen's rule of thumb.
Yeah, so the main implications of our research were the following. So the first one, of course, being to create awareness of financial well-being for students within our representative sample, and the second being to create awareness of the importance of financial awareness toward university faculty. As you can see, we have an example of what other colleges or universities typically do to spread awareness about financial well-being. So they'll have financial literacy courses and things like that that are put on by faculty just to, improve financial well-being and financial literacy across the board for those students.
And for our future research, we found that the credit hour variable was insignificant, and we believe that this was due to the wording of the question. So we would kind of like to rephrase it to be in more regards to the course level and difficulty. Just like I said before, because a 400 level class is going to be a lot tougher for students to work through than a 100 level class. And also going forward, we would also like to include questions that take into account outside factors that impact financial well-being for students. So if a student has their parents helping them out with some of their loans, or if they're on scholarships, or that would help them benefit in any way, as well as in a negative way if they have rent, or if they're paying for a lease on a car, cell phone bill, something like that. And also going forward, we would like to obtain the survey threshold of 350 participants, just because this would make our sample errors a lot smaller.
Awesome, and to wrap everything up, just wanna say that the survey was from Northern Michigan University, as that is our representative sample. We did find that there was a correlation between students' time management and their financial well-being. While it was a small /weak, it was still there. And then more future research can be done to help find factors to increase the strength of our correlation, really to hone in what was the ticket item that really